Thanks so much for tuning in. So I'm Tim, here at My Carbon Coach, and I thought it was about time that I explained what My Carbon Coach was all about. So it's a pretty weird name for an allotment growing YouTube channel, and that's because it was never meant to be an allotment growing YouTube channel. So all the way back in November 2019, I had the sudden idea that I really wanted to use the environmental science degree that I was studying, still am studying, to try and do some good in the world. And that took the form of wanting to start a blog and an online community where I started just putting out tips and ideas for people to sort of absorb, and just small changes in the way that we shop or act or do things that would make overall, if enough people did it, a big enough impact that it would change the world and help mitigate some of the impending disaster that climate change is bringing. So I started up a Facebook page called My Carbon Coach, and just before Christmas, in the lead up to Christmas, I thought I'd put out a couple of articles about how to be more eco-conscious in the run-up to Christmas. Things like alternatives to using your plastic-coated wrapping paper, things like that. And started up an Instagram. Both of those are linked down below in the description, as always. And then sometime in mid-December, I was thinking back to what I used to really want to do, and I'd had my name down on an allotment plot, on the site, when I used to live in Cardiff 5-6 years ago. Never got to the top of the list. Cardiff was quite a busy city for that kind of thing even back then. But yeah, just inquired around here in Taunton, and in January got my plot. And if you've seen the videos, then you will have seen sort of when I started, what it looked like when it started, etc. So the idea behind that was that obviously allotmenteering and growing your own is quite sort of ingrained in environmentalism and sort of self-sustainability, that kind of thing. So the plan was never to begin with allotmenteering, but it's something that I'd always been interested in, so that's where that tied into it. Unfortunately, studying turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it was. The first year, from September 18 through to May 2019, lulled me into a false sense of security, and the second year that I've just finished has been quite a slog. It's been enjoyable, don't get me wrong, it's a subject that I absolutely love. Geography has always been one of my keen interests, and I guess thinking about my purpose in life, I guess, on the getting quite deep now, but on the grand scheme of things, thinking about my purpose, I think I've always sort of had an interest in wanting to do my best for the planet. It might not have always materialised. Certainly in my late teens, early 20s, I wasn't particularly conscious about things. However, in my impending middle age, it's suddenly awoken in me again, and I'm going to do all that I can to make the world a better place for future generations. That's going to be the tagline: making the world a better place for future generations. My Carbon Coach. It sounds grand, it sounds ridiculous, but I want to give it my best. So to do that, I'm going to be continuing to blog, continuing to put out Instagram posts and stories. I'm going to continue to work my socks off up here at the allotment and keeping you guys informed about that. What I'm also going to be doing is introducing some environmentalism into the videos. So it might come in the form of product reviews to begin with. So things that I've been using and eco-alternative. So the plan is that I want to make this my job. I would absolutely love to be able to fight for the world that we live in, for future generations, as my full-time job. As much as I love the job that I'm in at the moment, it's not my true calling. My true calling, I feel, is being a YouTube celebrity. No, cut that out. Number one is, yeah, helping with the climate crisis and knowing that I've done my bit. So when I'm 90, old and wrinkly, and on my deathbed, I want to be able to hold my hands up and say I've done what I can, and that's what I want to make my full-time job. So there's a few ways that you can help support me to make that dream come true. Number one is watch time here on YouTube. So watching a video all the way through till the end is really, really important to the algorithm. You might have heard people mention the algorithm and YouTube's way of pushing videos out to people. The longer that you watch a video, if you watch a video right through till the end, YouTube thinks that video is the absolute bee's knees and says, right, this person's watched it right through till the end. Why don't we see if these other people want to watch it right through till the end? And basically watch time is the biggest factor. Leaving thumbs ups and dropping comments down below, super, super supportive of the creator. And I really cherish every thumbs up and comments that I get. However, it's not the main thing that Google and YouTube look at. That is all down to, like I say, minutes watched of a video. Watching something all the way through to the end is one of the easiest and the freest ways that you can support a content creator that you really like. The other way to help me in my dreams of making environmentalism and my carbon coach a full-time job is obviously with money. And there's a couple of ways at the moment that you can help support me with that. The first being Patreon and the second being Coffee. They're fairly similar in that you can pledge some money towards the development of the YouTube channel, my blog, Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing. And the way that Patreon works is that every month it's basically like a direct debit scheme, but to support content creators, not just YouTubers, but people that make all kinds of content, written content, crafting content, that kind of thing. But in this case, it goes towards helping me with either gardening supplies, upgrading YouTube equipment, new camera, different microphones, that kind of thing. And basically every little helps. There's two tiers, $2 and $10. It does the conversion for you for us that aren't in America, as many of my viewers aren't. And at this point, I want to say thank you to my one patron. So Romy, wonderful Romy, just signed up and pledged to support me with a little bit of money each month, and I was blown away by the generosity. It's so kind, and the sun has just come out, so I'm now starting to squint. So hay fever's season is here, so my eyes are puffy. I've got a lockdown haircut, and I've now got the sun in my eyes. Oh well. So yeah, thank you so much to Romy for helping get the ball rolling on Patreon. I appreciate you so much. So there we have it. That was quite a rambly, fairly sedate sit down. There wasn't any kind of montages in there. So apologies for those montage fans. We'll be back to those shortly. But I just wanted to put that out there so that people knew where I was coming from with my carbon coach and why it's such a weird name for an allotment YouTube channel. So if you're interested in any of the things that I've talked about, please feel free to check out any of the links down below in the comments. Yeah, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've got a 4-month break from university now, so my main focus is this, and yeah, I'm going to see how far I can take it in those few months. So thanks very much for watching. I appreciate all of you. So take care of yourselves, take care of your allotments, and have a fantastic week. Cheers.